Netflix documentaries. You love them, you hate them. Actually, most of you probably never even watched any, but I have. And this time, they've gone too far. Okay, just real quick, before the absolutely wonderful, fantastic, totally not toxic YouTube commenter community swarms my channel saying things like,
"Dude, get a life and stop trying to get big off being a hater, haha."
I just want to say thank you. Stupid Monkey 8057, I respect and value your opinion. Okay, now what were we talking about? Netflix has done a lot when it comes to nature documentaries. Of course, we all remember Our Planet, right? No? Another absolute banger of a documentary narrated by none other than the man himself, David Attenborough. The best to ever do it, in my opinion. Not only was Our Planet extremely educational and entertaining, it pushed the boundaries of what I thought was possible for capturing raw nature. And it also did a good job, again, in my subjective opinion, of emphasizing the importance of nature conservation in a rapidly changing world. And from there, Netflix experimented a little with their format, with pieces like Night on Earth, using state-of-the-art night vision cameras to capture natural interactions never before seen on the screen. And then again, with David Attenborough, Life on Our Planet, which actually employed the man himself with live-action narration. Apparently that one worked pretty well, even though we all just like his voice. I mean, that's kind of the part that we like. Anyways, I've always felt as though among the growing dumpster fire that Netflix has added to over the years, their nature documentaries are by far their strongest genre. Probably because, you know, they don't really need actors or a complex script or an extremely talented team to make it work, which is precisely why we need to talk about their latest inventions. And of course, here I'm talking about Our Planet 2, Life on Our Planet, and Our Universe. Now, not only are these three series innately linked to one another, but I've been watching them all in tandem. And let me tell you, they really pulled a Netflix on this one. You'll see what I mean. Okay, we're starting off strong here because honestly, how can you hate on Our Planet 2? It's simply the right formula for someone who likes nature documentaries. It's got plenty of action, a very colorful cast of characters, a pretty good amount of entertaining drama, and of course, David Attenborough.
Have you ever seen birds, mate?
It's only half as many episodes as the first Our Planet. Only a little disappointed by that, and it definitely weaned off the whole,
"Oh, let's work together to save our planet"
spiel, because I'm sure that didn't get the audience retention they were looking for. But imho, it goes into a lot of detail about human interactions with animals in the modern world, which I still think got the point across in a pretty creative way. And it jumps around quite a bit, only lingering on individual stories for a few minutes at a time. Certainly appealing to this generation's shortened attention span, but I don't hate it. And that specifically worked well with this added aspect of months in the year, expanding our focus to not only the dimensions of space in our world, but also time as it relates to nature. I mean, I just love that feeling when I'm watching a scene like this.
Throws herself onto the animal and is swung around as the animal tries to flee.
And my only reaction is,
damn. Nature goes hard.
Oh, it's good shit, all right? It's like, I'm pretty sure a few iPads and a really good nature documentary could potentially fix the crack epidemic. But having now also watched Life on Our Planet, I'm starting to understand why this was 4 episodes instead of 8. Oh man, I was so conflicted when figuring out what to say about this one. And I still am, as we speak. Because here's the thing. Of the 3 shows from the Our Planet series on Netflix, this one, by far, was the one I was most excited about. Why, you ask? Well, the answer's pretty simple.
Dinos.
Ever since I was a little kid, I've always loved dinosaurs. I mean, I even told my teacher in elementary school that I wanted to be a paleontologist when I grew up. Yes, I was a very strange child. Hey, Editor Gabe here. Just in case you needed more convincing, this is the wallet that I currently own, and in this video, I'm actually wearing this sweater. Believe it or not, I'm still an extremely strange child. Back to the video. But part of the reason that I had this passion for dinos was because my parents owned the VHS copy of BBC's Walking with Dinosaurs, a 6-episode series that tells their epic story from the start of the Triassic to the
Big rock
that ended it all. And let me tell you, I watched this shit day in, day out. I know these episodes so well that to this day, I still remember some of those iconic scenes. This will come into play later. And this specific series was paired with 2 others by BBC, Walking with Beasts, which takes place after the dinosaurs, and Walking with Monsters, which takes place before the dinosaurs ever existed. My family never owned these ones, but we'd rent them from Blockbuster every once in a while, so they're still somewhere in my memory. Oh, Blockbuster, the last bastion of a golden age of renting movies whose sole legacy lies in a shitty one-season sitcom on, you guessed it, Netflix. All right, you still with me? I promise this will all make sense in the end. Of course, Life on Our Planet isn't all dinos. I mean, it's about life on our planet, so it covered the story of the first living cell, to the first water creature to reach land, to the Ice Age, to the rise of the smartass apes, and so on. Which I think is a really great concept. Not exactly original, but we'll get back to that. Oh, also worthy to note, Morgan Freeman is narrating.
Oh, man.
Not exactly what I was used to, but again, I don't hate it. After all, I think it's probably a good idea to give Mr. Attenborough a break. Isn't he kind of like becoming a dinosaur himself now? Now, I'm sure you're all wondering,
Gabe, where's the butt?
No, not like buttocks, but like, you know, the word Let's see here. Used to introduce a phrase or clause contrasting with what has already been mentioned. Yeah, that one. And while I had my general gripes about the format of the show, switching back and forth between prehistoric times and modern day a little too quickly, I really couldn't complain at the beginning. I mean, there's just something magical about seeing my favorite childhood animals depicted more realistically than ever before on the screen. All right, you were ready for it. Here it comes. But I started noticing something a little interesting. The scenes that included heavily CGI prehistoric beasts were often accompanied by present-day animals. Now, I'm sure this has some kind of scientific grounds of
Relatives of these animals lived alongside the dinosaurs.
and I really didn't give it much thought at first. But then I started seeing them more and more. In fact, I noticed that some of the animals introduced in Our Planet 2 were basically copy-pasted as shots in Life on Our Planet. Still, being the optimist I am, I tried to ignore it. Like, sure, maybe there's some repeated shots here and there, no big deal. As a filmmaker, that's completely understandable. But I just had this feeling that something very bad was about to happen. And right on cue, I give you the baby turtle scene.
And hoping that the pterosaurs will be spoiled for choice.
Oh yeah, that's real. Oh yeah, we can just reskin the bird in that shot. It's no big deal. Yes, the fuck it is. Just find a different shot. It takes like 5 minutes. God. Oh, sorry, you don't believe me? Yeah, here it is again, in slow motion. Hey, Editor Gabe here, I'm back. So, upon further inspection, it appears that I was slightly incorrect. And you can see here that this isn't exactly the same shot. I mean, the background is slightly different. The angle of the turtles in the air is just a little bit off. And the way that they bounce off the ground is clearly distinct. But let's be honest, does this really matter at all? Okay, so the editor did take an extra 5 minutes to find a new shot, but it's still the exact same scene, the exact same shots, the exact same music. Yeah, I'm still pissed. Okay, back to the video. Now, this one really threw me for a loop, because like I said before, I grew up on this shit. And unfortunately, the storylines introduced in Life on Our Planet were practically no different than the ones in the BBC specials. Let me give you some examples.
This is Anomalocaris. And in the tropical shallows 508 million years ago, it's the world's first apex predator.
This is Anomalocaris, Earth's first super predator.
This is an erythrosuchid. Nearly 3 meters long, it's the biggest predator of its time.
Prostosuchus, a merciless ambush predator, the largest carnivore on Earth.
Rising together, they cement their bond.
Okay, that last one wasn't that similar, but you get the point. And I understand that there haven't been many apex predator fossils uncovered in the last 30 years, but what aggravates me is how Netflix marketed the series. I mean, the fact that Steven Spielberg's name comes up in the first 5 seconds says a lot. The dinosaurs were clearly the selling point for this show, but even in the episodes that they are present, they're only there for less than half the runtime. Now, I'm the last person to underestimate how time-consuming it is to create realistic-looking CGI, but this just goes back to why Our Planet 2 only had 4 episodes. It's simply because the other half of the footage was used in Life on Our Planet. Plain and simple. Again, it's hard for me to complain about seeing dinos on the screen for the first time since, what, Jurassic World? I feel like I'm missing one, but I can't seem to recall. Still, that turtle scene is absolutely heinous. Unforgivable. Netflix, do better. You're like one of the only ways people can consume content these days, and you're screwing the pooch. You're just screwing the pooch on this one. And immediately, by some divine twist of fate, I eat my words. And before I get into this one, I just want to thank everyone who's stuck with me to this point. I mean, that stupid monkey guy lives up to his name. He definitely doesn't have the attention span that you do, so thank you. Going from the last episode of Life on Our Planet to the first episode of Our Universe was like night and day. Because somehow, some way, Netflix was able to find the perfect balance, the godlike tweak that makes their entire format work perfectly. Now, I'm not going to say that Our Universe is a perfect show by any means, but as Netflix nature documentaries go, god damn, it's pretty close. Let me explain. Our Universe combines even more of that leftover footage from Our Planet 2 with absolutely groundbreaking CGI that visually unravels the intricacies of our reality. From the minuscule workings of supercharged atoms to the massive expanse that we know as the observable universe. The episodes are laid out to each cover an aspect of our existence that is explored in every scientific endeavor. And it starts with energy.
To understand the source of this unbearable heat, we must peer into the inferno.
I mean, this episode is so insane that we actually travel inside the core of our sun. Like, are you serious? Who thought of this shit? Not only are the graphics in this show some of the most advanced I've ever seen in TV or movies, they're also perfectly paired with the footage of raw nature that just ties everything together. In Life on Our Planet, I felt like the connections between prehistoric animals and contemporary ones were a little arbitrary. Like, we're going from these absolute beasts to, tiny marsupial, like, make it make sense. But in our universe, not only are we conditioned to accept the arbitrary nature of some shots, as it is about, the entire observable universe, the highlighted animals in every episode perfectly embody the theme. Like, they did a really good job with this. In episode 1, the cheetah represents energy, the hunger that drives its unusual lifestyle that wouldn't be possible without the sun. In episode 3, the bear represents our unique seasons, with its pattern of hibernation that wouldn't take place without the Earth's tilt and the cosmic history behind it. And in episode 6, the penguin represents gravity? Oh, okay, that one didn't really make a lot of sense, but I'll give him a pass. There's just so much about this show that I not only genuinely enjoyed, but also learned from. Educational content on huge platforms like Netflix is often drowned out by their endless attempts at entertainment. But our universe is a testament to both. I mean, I wish I had something I could watch like this as a kid. It takes full advantage of this age of visual representation that we now live in to create a truly complete and polished product, the likes of which I've never seen on Netflix before. It takes a relatively unbiased approach to scientific learning, and as someone who's endlessly fascinated by the cosmos, it certainly scratched that itch for me. I truly believe that in order to understand more about ourselves, especially as living, breathing, conscious human beings, it's important to break free from the distractions of the modern world and to look further, to the endless expanse of matter in the sky that miraculously put us here, now, in a time of unprecedented life, and that same matter to which we will always return. So what do I think about this whole fiasco of Netflix nature documentaries? Well, TLDR, I feel like Netflix should have just stuck with the one. The transparency with which all three of these docuseries copy one another is just more proof that Netflix is a lazy, money-hungry corporate conglomerate. But at the same time, there's clearly something special there. The creation of our universe, the show, not like the divine power, is, I'll admit it, kind of promising to me. But the problem still remains. When Netflix figures out their formula, they love to duplicate it over and over and over again, with clearly drastically differing results. I mean, honestly, I'm just so relieved that there isn't another baby turtle scene in our universe. Like, that would be... What's that? What? Episode 4? Oh, no.
No, it can't be. It can't be. Oh, God.
All right, I think that's all I wanted to say on this. Hope you guys enjoyed, and if you stuck with me all the way to this point, then you might want to think about, I don't know, subscribing, turning on that bell, liking the video, comment on how weird my hair looks right now. Like, why is it, like, diagonal? I don't know what's going on. And, yeah, thanks for all the support. I'll see you in the next one, I guess. Wish I could be more wry or satirical, but that's all there is to it. I love you guys. Okay, bye.